What's up, guys? This is Zack Hample coming to you from Progressive Field in Cleveland, and tonight I have tickets in one of my favorite sections in all of Major League Baseball to catch a home run. Last year I was out there and caught 2 in one game, so hoping for more of that magic tonight. Now tonight it's the All-Ohio battle. Cincinnati Reds are in town, interleague action. The weather is gorgeous, I'm pumped up, here we go. All right, we are inside Progressive Field, and unfortunately the Indians finished batting practice before the gates opened. So there was some dead time at the start before the Reds finally came out and started stretching and running and throwing. And now their portion of BP is finally underway. And it hasn't been too impressive yet, but that's kind of what I expected based on what I saw from them in Cincinnati a couple of months ago. Now I did get a couple of toss-ups from them. The first came from Tanner Rainey out in right center field, and then a few minutes after that, Jackson Stevens hooked it up. So at least I'm on the board and just hoping for some long balls. It looks like Scooter Gennett is in this group. He can really hit. And it's just kind of a bummer to have missed the Indians hitting. I saw them in Puerto Rico back in April, and they put on a display. That was like the home run derby. And if you just want to walk with me for a second here, you can see what this section looks like. You got this big walkway right here, all kinds of space to spread out. So I feel like if balls aren't flying out this way, it's really a loss. Despite having tickets in that amazing section in right center field, I decided to head over to the left field bleachers for the final group of Reds BP because all of the guys hitting in that group were right-handed, and that paid off. Somehow I managed to snag a ground rule double out there that bounced off the warning track all the way to the top of that really high wall, and I was able to reach over the railing and catch it. And then a few minutes later, I reached over the railing again to catch a home run on the fly. I'm not sure who hit either of those balls, but I'm just really glad to have them. Normally 4 baseballs in this stadium is not all that impressive, but for the lack of action early on and then how crowded it was later, I'm actually feeling pretty satisfied about it. And listen, I gotta give a very special shout out right now to FanDuel. You can see their logo right here on my shirt. Let me explain what this is all about. You guys know how I do Watch with Zack games, right? I take people to games, I show them how to catch balls, we hang out all night, it's always a really good time. Well, I am doing a contest with FanDuel where I'm gonna be giving away a free Watch with Zack game in New York City. You can win an all-expenses-paid trip to New York to go to a Mets or Yankees game with me. So for right now, check the description for this video. You'll find a link there, and if you click it, there'll be all kinds of info about how this works. So definitely look at that. Don't miss out, it's a really cool opportunity. And for right now, there's all kinds of time before this game starts, so let's wander a bit. Let's check out this stadium. Not a shabby view up here at Progressive Field. And if you've ever been up to the upper deck, then you've seen these gigantic murals in all these different sections dedicated to Indians legends of the past. You got guys like Early Wynn, Elmer Flick, Nap Lajoie, a superstar of the 19th century. And over here, there's a really big one dedicated to Herb Score. I think you can see his name right behind me over my shoulder. Herb Score was famously struck in the face by a line drive on the mound at the age of 23, having made the All-Star game the previous 2 seasons. And his career was never the same after that. He continued to pitch. He was a broadcaster for the Indians. Just a fascinating guy, really fascinating career. So I always love getting up to the upper deck at various stadiums, and I feel like this one is especially interesting. But for right now, this game is about to begin. I can see guys warming up in the bullpen, so I want to get back out to right center field, back to my seat, and hope for some long ball magic. This game is already in the top of the 4th inning, speeding right along. And part of the reason for that is that Indian starter Trevor Bauer has not allowed a hit. The Indians, meanwhile, have scored 4 runs, including a pair of homers in the 1st inning. One from Francisco Lindor, his 24th of the season, and then another from Jose Ramirez, his 25th. Now that ball bounced back onto the field. Red center fielder Billy Hamilton picked it up. I was hoping he might toss it to me, but he actually launched it halfway up the bleachers in center field. Kind of fun to see. It's a final here in Cleveland, and the story of the night was the Indians pitching. Trevor Bauer, 8 scoreless innings, 3 hits, 12 strikeouts. And despite that performance, there was a whole lot of action in the Indians bullpen late in the game. Cody Allen throwing smoke, getting ready to go in for the 9th inning, but it all fell apart for him. He gave up 3 runs, left with the bases loaded, and then the bullpen further imploded from there. The Reds scored 7 runs in the 9th inning, all with 2 outs, to win this game by the score of 7-4. Trevor Bauer has got to be one pissed off dude right now. Now as for me, I got a couple of toss-ups early in BP out in right field, a couple of batted balls later on in left field, and then I got a 5th ball unexpectedly. We don't have a shot of that, but it was tossed to me by one of the really friendly ushers out here named Jim, wearing a floppy hat all night, true character, really nice guy. And I want to give a shout out to his son, Captain Jake Young, who recently returned from a tour of duty in Kuwait. I've gotten to know him over the last few years, so welcome home, Jake. You can see the 5th ball that I have right here. The 5 today bring my lifetime total to 10,466. I will be back out here tomorrow, seats again in this section, hoping for a little more action. Thanks for watching.